Do you know what? You really are a pathetic, incompetent, mouth-breathing, window-licking, spastic bastard, twat, arsehole, wanker, tosser, dickhead, knobhead, failed abortion, streak of piss, disgrace to the family name, inbred, stuck up, Ponzi, Nancy, chintzy, pillow biting, West Ham United supporting cunt.
Man, fuck all that, man. Keep it by his sister, so let's do a tranny in the concern.
Oh, by the way, Moan, I'm reading your comments. I'm amazed that that comment has been allowed to stay. I would like that removed because it's pure harassment. Already you've exhibited. No, she's just being a fucking. She's actually saying sexual slurs. I mean, it's disgusting. I don't know if people think that's okay. I don't think it's okay. Anyway, listen, I'm gone. I'm going. See you later. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting person. I'm doxing Shamey. I'm doxing Robert. I'm doxing Seaman. I'm doxing.
You can't dox me.
The gay Klingon.
No, she can't dox me either because I've doxed myself. My name's Amy Louise Thomas.
Well, I'm just going to do it for fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to amuse myself.
Yeah,
would you like that?
Fine. I don't mind.
Does it sound fun to you guys?
My
Would you
middle
like
name's
it?
Thomas.
Yeah, I'm going to have pictures of Seaman's nephew, his name and everything like that. I'm going to do the whole
Do you
obituary
mean my
thing.
dead
Why not?
nephew?
How about?
Before I fuck you
know-
in the arse, you cunt.
Well, Seaman, you do it to me all the fucking time under your various sock accounts. So
wish.
fuck you. Fuck
You
you.
wish.
Piece of fucking shit.
You
Do you want me to send you
little
some up-to-date pictures of
Wow.
everyone bleeding?
cunt.
No.
Well, yeah, no, I will look for the worst pictures.
I can send you some up-to-date
Deliberately.
ones of. I've got my mum, my sister, my dad, and my brother.
Shavy, are you asking me? Are you asking me for my email address?
I can help you
Because
out.
you're not getting it.
I can help
I
you out.
don't speak to weirdos like you.
You are a weirdo.
All right?
Failed.
Oh, God, no one cares about you doxing. Jesus.
Jesus.
Failed.
You having an orgasm there, Shamey, are you?
No, but
Y'all got down at the Benz like smack. One bag of weed, a mama clock crap. One bag of girl like shop. Lord, one bag of girl get dagger. Lord, make the girl them with the hammer. Lord, make the girl ball for them mama. Lord, make a rascal ball or jaja. Jaw, walk on, tell me. Jump in this bitch. Got a quick shower hour, you get me? Yeah, man. Come on. You know it's about the Everton blender. Come on. How you made? Lift up your head and hold it up. We know that we win the prize. I want them feel like them must be salty and not that oh man. So go on, man. You telling me? Hey, listen. I don't know what I'm going for StreamYard, yeah, but on my account, yeah, on the free account, it said you got an hour and there's a fucking clock in the corner ticking down right now, yeah? So we're gonna slap a shower hour real quick. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I start paying for StreamYard again, man. We never know, innit, man? We never know how that goes. Still, yeah, because you know how it goes when it comes to the host. You can do the same thing to the click, you know? Come on, because your whole show's I ain't gonna lie. What are the lights turning down show chat? Drove by, smoking the light. Recognize G block, open your eyes. Jeez. Alright, let me shout out the people them in the place, man. Real quick, you know. How you mean? Yeah, man. Alright, so number one in the building, old tight Gurdy, give thanks. How I them feel like old tight Elsin. Yeah, got down at the Benz like Spragger, Morpheus unaffiliated. How I them feel like man said, yeah, got shalom. How you mean? Man, old tight, all eyes on you, yeah? Wow. See the clock, yeah? You know what it was, yeah? I was on the phone to another engineer, to another British gas engineer, rapping about boilers, innit? So it did take a little bit longer to start than usual still, but we're there. We're here now, yeah? We're live, B. We're live, we're live. I'm live, I'm live. I'm live, I'm live. Mad. So shout out Eyes, they are. Shout out OG Helen James. Oh, go on, you telling me? Big up yourself. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let me scroll up a little. Mad. Yeah, you see why there's bare traffic in Bomber Clark Blackheath right now? Because of that pussy old battle tunnel cost the charge now. But yo. Smart. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Sky Church. Long time. Big up Sky Church. Well gone. Jeez. Hold tight. EIE. Well gone. Come on. Yeah, but damn. You mean? Hold tight. JD. Come on. Big up man like J Dizzle, you know. Come on. Big up. Hold tight. Reverend Violet. Amen. Yeah. In the name of the Lord. You know, Kachagali. Yeah. Get to the spiritual girl. In the name of the Lord. You know, Kachagali. Because all of them are walk on me hard. Yeah. Bad. Alright, who else we got? We got Donna. Belly, shoot your mic out. I told you yesterday, Donna. That StreamYards has changed the shit, yeah? So you either sound like you're on the phone or you have it on loudspeaker and you hear bad noise in the van. So, yeah, big up yourself. And that's that, yeah, man. So who else we got in there? 2020 twins. Come on, big up 20. They are actual factual. Come on. I am in. Step from the fire bar. If we don't see your fire one. But alright, yeah, that's everyone, yeah? Alright. So everyone got big up, yeah? Mad. M.A. Dizzle. I met the big Mac 11 just sizzle. I tell him, it's a boy for shizzle. Yes, so Tommy Robinson lied to his supporters or whoever's running the Twitter is lying to the supporters, you know? The man them are donating and that car. The man them feel like man's eating one can of tuna a day. Huh? Mad. Yo. But listen, yeah, like I keep trying to say, yeah. Me by myself, yeah. I'm not a person that celebrates people going to jail and them things there anyway. Yeah, like I said. Obviously, Tommy Robinson sent himself to jail, innit? Yeah. Because he lost a libel case. The judge has given an order. He broke the judge's order on more than one occasion and even raised money from it. Turbo Cicla. Like, come on. I don't know. Like, that's like cut open and shut case. If it weren't Tommy Robinson, yeah, all the Tommy Robinson fans would say, yeah, of course he's guilty. Nice, Tommy Robinson. Like, what? What? No, he ain't. I'm like, right. It's mad still. So, if you take a look into Shaduki, well, go on. Yeah, man. Hey, Dookie, yeah? Yeah, tell Imam Ghost, yeah? Yeah. Hey, jeez, man, yeah. So if it was anyone else, if it was me in court now, yeah, man like Velimus Maximus Decimus the First. So I was in court for contempt of court. I've run a DVD about lying about some children. I must be to go to Silvertown Tunnel. I'm gonna go through the Silvertown Tunnel, mate. Jeez, I ain't been through it before, mate. All right. Anyway, so if it was me that had made this documentary, even though the court said found in favour of the person that I'm making the documentary against, I'm not sure if you see how teeth that is. Them teeth. Yeah, man, them teeth in mama class, man. Yo, hey, you see this pussy clout Silvertown channel, yeah? Alright, number one is one lane. Number two, they've got like a straight fed. It's 30. Alright, I'm on 20. They've got a fed at the side, waiting to snatch people. Oh my days. Yeah, man, fucking hell, mate. Yeah, we're finished that. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, bro, yeah, the fans would have definitely said, no, Bella's guilty. Talking about, you can't fucking release a documentary and have half a Trafalgar Square filled up with men them chanting your name about lies about a 15-year-old school kid. Like, what the hell's going on, mate? I hey, Dookie, yeah, trust me, cuz, man. I'm gonna bring the jerk chicken to the barbecue, fam. Yeah, let it play. I want them feel like. Yeah, man, big up on the Jacob, old tight Taffy. There, come on. Hey, we got a power hour, yeah, quick hour. And then we out of here. So let me run a quick video, yeah. Let it play.
Welcome along. We're reporting from the Court of Appeal live on YouTube. HM Solicitor General versus Yaxley Lennon. Of course, this is Tommy Robinson's appeal against the length of his sentence. Now, cast your minds back to when Robinson was first incarcerated. We were told by the Robinson camp that he would have to survive on a tin of tuna a day. He was paranoid that the Muslims were going to poison his food. Therefore, he could not eat the prison food. He had to survive on a tin of tuna a day. So let's listen to the court and let's see what the reality of his situation was.
He orders his daily meals on a laptop and takes all the meals that are issued to him.
Wait.
Yeah, man. So you see it there? Shout out DJ H Crinkle. You get me? DJ H Harry. You get me? Ma. Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, yeah, or like was said, or had been said, was that my man is getting to order the grub on the laptop. Yeah, got big belly full, you know. Cause you know what it is, yeah. If the screws go and collect the thing, what innit? Like they won't know who the food's getting fixed for, innit? Because there's so much people on seg, you don't know who the food's going to, right? So it'd be a bit harder to maliciously poison, man. I'm not saying people wouldn't try and do that because you know you never. Human ingenuity is brazy, cause yeah, and you done. I swear down, yeah. Until you're in a tight situation, you wouldn't know that there's certain things you would do or could do, you know, until you're held up. So, man, hey DJ, let it play.
For he was surviving on a tin of tuna a day. That's the narrative out of the Robinson camp.
That's different from the evidence that was given in 4-2, Miss Connolly, where it was suggested that he was declining meals for fit safety beers and having to say.
So there you have it. He wasn't really declining meals. He's been eating healthily and greedily every single day of his stay in Wood Hill Prison.
Give up and buy tinned food, etc. The governor says that's flatly wrong. But...
Mad, yeah, that the governor said that's wrong, B. And you know, like differently, yeah, because personally, I could say that a certain citizen reporter isn't known for telling the actual truth to their fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because what you say is so much propaganda and whatever, Well, I'm more likely to believe what the governor of the prison is saying about your situation than what you're saying yourself, innit? So, yeah, man. One, let's remove that. Let's take a quick trip up to Scotland real quick.
Edinburgh was the subject of a petrol bomb attack almost a week ago, allegedly. The home in Hay Drive in Niddrie was torched, allegedly, as part of an ongoing battle between gangs for control of the lucrative cocaine market. Police Scotland...
Alright, pause it there. God damn, there was a lot of allegedlys in there, yeah? Jeez. Like I keep trying to tell you, cuz, yeah? The crime families in the UK are a serious business, you know? Man, them act like it's not for these little tracksuit youths running around, guy mad or whatever. Like, I don't know about you, but these crime families have been doing their thing for time. The East London crime families were able to finagle enough landowners on the 2012 Olympics thing to turn it into their building or get profits off of it. So, at the time of the crime families, fam, they'll blow up your house, cuz. You hear me? Let it break.
confirmed today that an 18-year-old man and a 17-year-old youth have been arrested in connection with the incident. The 18-year-old has also been arrested after a fire at a property in Albert Street at the start of last month, owned by the partner of jailed gangland figure Mark Richardson, who has been moved to isolation at Low Moss Prison. Officers say inquiries are ongoing into the incidents, which are linked to the recent discharge of firearms and other fires in the city. These latest arrests come after over a month of gangland attacks on premises in Edinburgh. At the start of March, the Belle Chevaux salon in Albert Street in Leith, run by Mark Richardson's partner, was allegedly petrol bombed. 10 days later, a property in Milton Road East in the south of Edinburgh, where it's understood the father of Richardson's partner lives and runs a business, was also torched. The turf war took an even more sinister turn when shots were fired at a property linked to Richardson in Pilton, while the compound he owns was also torched 10 miles away. It came just 24 hours after a gunman blasted 3 bullets into the home of Richardson's pal, Paddy Beatson, in Niddrie. The following day, a house on Hay Drive in Niddrie was allegedly petrol bombed as those responsible tried to intimidate the Edinburgh gangster. Then a post was put up on social media showing video footage of the incidents with the Martha and...
Alright, let me pause it there, man. You know, I heard some people were saying Scotland's one lefty place. Yeah? How you mean? Let me tell you this. Things can go left for you in Scotland. How about it's a lefty place? Man, burn out your bumper clout yard and put shots through your window. What are you talking about? Yeah. And also for my Americanos that keep thinking that there's no guns in the UK. You can get legal firearms in the UK. You can get illegal firearms in the UK. People use some other tools as well, sharp instruments that are more, should we say, personal and intimate. And I think even a lot more evil. Personally, stabbing someone to death, not recommending anyone does that, is it takes a lot more than shooting someone to death, I reckon that. Killing someone with a shot. But that's just me, and let it play.
Mandela song Nowhere to Run To playing under it, sending a clear message to anyone associated with the Richardsons. But then the mob targeted properties in Glasgow with links to the Daniels crime clan. This is the latest warning from Mark Richardson. Police Scotland confirmed today that an 18-year-old...
Hold on, sorry, my bad. Let me pause it there. and let me forward it back to where it was. Yeah, but they said the Richardsons. Yeah, there's a gangster family in London called the Richardsons. I wonder, any connections or just a coincidence? What do you think? Coincidence, yeah? But
Waging war on Mark Richardson and the Daniels crime clan. A video posted online shows flames ripping into a business unit set alight in another early morning firebomb attack in Glasgow. The industrial unit in Bishop Briggs went up in smoke at around 1 a.m. this morning, just hours before a video emerged of the carnage. The clip plays to the Prodigy's hit song Firestarter and contains a stark warning at the end of the video, one of many recorded by thugs after weeks of violence across Edinburgh and Glasgow. The business unit is linked to
yo, yeah, that man, the man that went on greasy, yeah? She had banned down the thing, filmed it, and put Firestarter in the background. I'm a Firestarter, twisted Firestarter. I shot moon. Yeah. Man, hey, play.
Daniel clan hood Craig Rob Roy Gallagher, and comes just days after Gallagher was locked up for chasing Lions Gang associates with an axe during a street clash with the long-standing gangland enemies. It's understood Gallagher ran a carpet-fitting firm from the Wellington Road property. Official documents show Gallagher listed as a director of a dissolved business linked to the unit. The latest incident comes after violence seen on the streets of Edinburgh and spread to Glasgow last week. Armed officers raided properties in the capital last week after numerous attacks on businesses and homes associated with gangland figure Mark Richardson, who is currently in isolation at Low Moss Prison. Those investigating the outbreak of gang violence say the message is clear.
So we're actively investigating a series of incidents of serious criminality. We think it's rival groups targeting each other. It's imperative that we identify and bring to justice those that are responsible. It is a complex inquiry just because of the nature of some of the but I can reassure you that we remain totally committed. The message to people responsible to this is that we are coming for you. We're working extremely hard to identify who you are, and this sort of behaviour will not be tolerated.
The video with the Johnny Cash hit Ring of Fire playing under it was circulated by a new group called Tamu Junto, who issued a chilling threat of further violence towards allies of jailed Edinburgh kingpin Mark Richardson, who included the Daniel clan in Glasgow. Mobsters who burned a house in the capital then firebombed cars at a garage in the west with motor.
Yo, hey, the Scotland man them are going on crazy, cuz, yo. Take time, cuz, you get into them crime family beefs. Yeah, your business is going up, your house is getting shot, mad. Crazy, cuz. But as people will have you think or believe, this shit only happened in London, right? Mad. Play. Yeah, I rewinded it.
Fitting firm from the Wellington Road property. Official documents show Gallagher listed as a director of a dissolved business linked to the unit. The latest incident comes after violence seen on the streets of Edinburgh and spread to Glasgow last week. Armed officers raided properties in the capital last week after numerous attacks on businesses and homes associated with gangland figure Mark Richardson, who is currently in isolation at Low Moss Prison. Those investigating the outbreak of gang violence say the message is clear.
So we're actively investigating a series of incidents of serious criminality. We think it's rival groups targeting each other. It's imperative that we identify and bring to justice those that are responsible. It is a complex inquiry just because of the nature of some of the offending and the number of offences we're investigating, but I can reassure you that we remain totally committed to identifying the people responsible and bring them to justice. My message to people responsible to this is that we are coming for you. We're working extremely hard to identify who you are, and this sort of behaviour will not be tolerated.
The video with the Johnny Cash hit Ring of Fire playing under it was circulated by a new group called Tamu Junto, who issued a chilling threat of further violence towards allies of jailed Edinburgh kingpin Mark Richardson, who included the Daniel clan in Glasgow. Mobsters who burned a house to the ground in the capital then firebombed cars at a garage in the west, with motors set alight outside a garage in Kirkintilloch that has Francis Fraggle Green, son of late kingpin Jamie Daniel, listed as a former director. Fraggle is the cousin of notorious gangland figure Stephen Bonzo Daniel, who was left scarred for life on his face in a machete attack, and is also understood to be the target of a new group. The Daniel gang are notorious enemies of the Lions, which waged war on each other for years before police targeted key gang members, but sources now fear a resurgence. These attacks on premises with links to associates of crime gangs in Edinburgh and now in Glasgow are becoming more and more frequent as those responsible turn up the heat to win control of the lucrative cocaine market.
Yeah, don't fuck about with the cocaine cowboys, yeah, you mean? Jeez! You! Yeah, man, take time in Scotland, man. You know? That's it. Yeah, mate. Serious still. Crime family business. Alright, we got like less than 30 minutes left, yeah? So, we're going to go back to Tommy Robinson case, yeah, and listen to some what the judge said. Yeah? Alright. Let it play.
Anything to add?
No, my lady.
No, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, my lady.
Yes, Mr. Adley.
Yes, my lady, I'm grateful for the indication that grounds A, F and G are not pursued. But what I propose to do is just say something about the legal framework for appeals of this nature, and then I'll take the remaining grounds and in order and deal with the extension of time, fresh evidence points in the context of each ground.
Yes.
My learned friend is right to point out that this case falls not under the Criminal Appeals Act 1968, that's the CPR 52 approach. Where I part company with him is his suggestion that there is a material difference of the sort he suggests, namely that the principles he's referred to about the limited circumstances in which a court may look at post-sentence deterioration do not read across to contempt, but we say they do. And I can demonstrate that from the authority of Green, which is at tab 9 in the bundle.
Thank you. Yes.
Can I begin at paragraph 16 and 17? Paragraph 16 starts on page 159. And Lord Justice Coulson says, an appeal like this, and this is an appeal under the civil procedure rules, is not a rehearing but a review. This court will only interfere if satisfied a decision under the appeal is wrong or unjust because of serious procedural or other irregularity. And a decision on sanction involves an exercise of judgment which is best made by the judge who deals with the case at first instance. Now, pausing there, it's significant that it's described as a review because that's exactly what the Court of Appeal Criminal Division describes its function as. Save that in exceptional circumstances, which it's set out in the Barnard Principle, sometimes as an act of mercy, step outside that reviewing role and look at what the position is now.
This is obviously trite law, Mr. Adley, and I understand why you take us to it, but to what extent does it help you if there is fresh evidence which the court admits?
If there's fresh evidence, and I don't strongly resist a court looking at that fresh evidence, we say it doesn't bring the appellant into the Barnard Principles or any other.
But do you see what I'm trying to say? The obligation and the function of the court to carry out a review is tempered by the fact that if there is to be fresh evidence, it's not only a review as such, because you are in a different position to the position in which the judge below was.
Well, it depends what the evidence is of. If it's evidence as the status quo at the time of sentencing, then of course that falls within your review function. But if it's evidence of post-sentence deterioration, which is the real gist of the evidence my learned friend wants to put before you, then that's outside the review scope and into the Barnum Principles area. And we say that because...
Hey, let me pause in there for 1 sec here, because you know, like now people say, when it's like any of these other criminals, all right, that crap, jail's easy, they can play PlayStation all day, blah, 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 all this shit or whatever. And then when someone they rate is in jail, it's like, right, jail's the worst thing in the world. Like, so, as you're finding out, yeah, being held somewhere against your will because no one actually wants to go to jail or whatever, it's going to stress you out a bit, cuz. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of toll on you and all them things there, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and as most people do, when you're committing the crime, you ain't thinking about the time, innit? When you're sitting in the cell, you're like, bro, fuck that crime. You know what I'm saying? Well, I should have just chilled out, alright. I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and also, yeah, Tommy Robinson tried to do a slick move, which I don't think helped him in this case as well, was man unpinned the video and didn't remove it from his Twitter. Like, should have just removed it from the Twitter early. You'd have got a couple months knocked off. I think you'd have been coming out next month. So it's an uphill battle, because like, I don't even know why Tom Robinson keeps trying to fight this Jamal Hijazi case thing, like where the liability has been proven beyond reasonable doubt, and then there's no other. You hear me? But there's no new evidence that's going to be able to show that the claims that he was making against Jamal have been have been shown to be true. It's wild still, and then the fans, the supporters are extremely disingenuous, isn't it? Yeah, because they keep acting like man's in jail for exposing grooming gangs. That's not even true, is it? Man's not in jail for exposing grooming gangs. Man's in jail for a breach of a court order, the contempt of court. A judge gave you directions on what you're supposed to do or what you're not supposed to do, and you said, "Fuck the judge, bro. I'm doing what I'm doing, innit?" Like, and if it's that, then cuz you know, time it is, cuz man, you know who's gonna hold a bird for that, bro. You know what I mean? And also, you knew that you was not going to be on general population. Come on, be serious, bro. Like, you've been saying that, right? Every time I go to jail, it's Picos on top for man and blah, 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 blah. You know you're not going to be on general population because you're like a known person that's in the papers and blah, blah, this, that, and the other. The last thing the governor of the jail is going to want on their record is that Tommy Robinson got mashed up under their watch. So, of course, they're going to put you in not even solitary confinement. Like, they put you in some safety away from other prisoners, but you get extra advantages that other prisoners haven't got. So you're on a civil regime, but under 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 protection, so people can't harm you, innit? Or so none of them things can happen to you or whatever. So yeah, maybe to even said that was the best thing for you or whatever, man. So it's mad that this appeal, like, I don't know what they're trying to appeal from. If anything, yeah, it just exposed lies about the conditions that man pretended to be suffering from inside Wood Hill Prison, innit?
both in this court and in the criminal division, principal function of the court is that of a review of the sentencing, then by parative reasoning, that the same exceptional circumstances which would justify a different approach in the criminal division apply equally here. And if we can just turn over the page, paragraph 17 of Breen, because this approach is clearly stated in paragraph 85 of Quadrilla, which led Leggett LJ to say that it followed that there is limited scope for challenging on an appeal a sanction which is imposed for contempt of court as being excessive or unduly lenient. And that's language which tracks very closely the test of manifestly excessive in the criminal division that we say. If we turn back in Breen to paragraphs 6 through to 8, the court there sets out the correct approach to sentencing in a contempt case, citing the Supreme Court in Crossland. I'm not going to read it out, but you'll see that it follows the familiar pattern of criminal sentencing. You determine seriousness by reference to culpability and harm that one looks for aggravating and mitigating factors, and then imposes the least penalty possible. But I do place more emphasis on paragraphs 7 and 8, and this is a slight but material difference between the approach when sentencing for crime and when sentencing for civil contempt. Here, Lord Justice Coulson refers to the divisional court in Booth, which he says also emphasised that the purpose of imposing a sanction for contempt is to punish the breach, ensure compliance with the court orders, and rehabilitate the person in contempt. And the fact of compliance with court orders is then emphasised again in the following paragraph, summarising Butcherian and Willoughby. An important aspect of the harm is the breach of the court's order, and an important objective of the sanction is to ensure future compliance with the order in question. We say that's very significant in this case, because in this case the judge took the sensible step of breaking the penalty down into a punitive element of 14 months less 3 days and a coercive element of 4 months. In other words, it's in the appellant's gift to shorten his own sentence by 4 months, if only he were to do the things that the judge said he should do, remove his post from social media and take other steps to prevent its dissemination.
Let me pause it there, yeah, because I'm gonna leave this running while I run into the go and do some work and all that, yeah, and it's just gonna cut off still in about 15 minutes or so. But yeah, you see, like you said there, yeah, like the judge said there, was that man had the chance to shorten the sentence by following the directions that the judge had given, and in defiance, man decided not to. But then halfway through the sentence, man's like, "Yo, listen, can you shorten the sentence?" But obviously, they're not going to shorten the sentence if you never done any of the stuff that the judge asked you to do in the first place.
He hasn't done that. It's a striking feature of this appeal that he remains defiantly in breach of Mr. Justice Nicklin's order. That further publications of his film are occurring every time it's viewed. But at the same time, he comes to this court asking for an indulgence. That's what this appeal really boils down to. He's asking the court to take the exceptional step of reducing his sentence on compassionate grounds, even though a review of the sentence discloses nothing wrong or unjust at all, that we say.
That is a strong forensic point. Is it relevant as a matter of principle that the appellant has not purged his contempt, thus achieving his release? I think it will be at the end of this month.
I think it will be the end of next month.
Next month.
We say it is because you're being asked to do something exceptional in all the circumstances. And you have to take into the circumstances not only the mental health deterioration, but also the ability that this appellant has to help himself. So we do say it's relevant to the court's exercise of its discretion in this case. So that's the legal framework.
Thank you.
Can I now move on then to grounds B and C? I'll take them together because I don't detect a difference between them.
No, I think we agree with that.
And here my learned friend suggests that the reduction that was given by reference to the conditions in which Mr. Yaxley would be held is insufficient because he's in fact being held in more severe conditions than he envisaged. The first procedural point is that there's no good reason for granting an extension of time on this ground. You can see from the witness statement of Miss Marfleet that the appellant was transferred to Wood Hill on the 1st of November, so 4 days after the order of committal, placed immediately into segregation. His segregation was reviewed on the 4th of November, but not changed. And then it was further reviewed, the first mandatory segregation review, on the 15th of November, and not changed. And you'll see from her witness statements, there were really very few options other than to hold him in segregation as things stood. So she makes clear that he was constantly being reviewed and that the authorities were keeping an open mind. But the reality is that the regime under which he was being held had settled by mid-November, leaving him plenty of time to take points in an appeal within the 28 days granted by the court, if it is the case that those conditions are different from what the judge envisaged. But we say in any event these grounds are factually and legally flawed. I'll look at the factual position first, and that involves a comparison of what the judge did anticipate and what actually has transpired. If we turn up the judgment,
Yes.
which is at tab 5 in the core bundle,
Yes.
paragraphs 87 and 88 set out what the judge thinks prison will be like for this appellant. He makes the Manning point about the high population in adult male prisons and how that impacts on conditions, more prisoners being held in crowded conditions as well as being further away from home. He anticipates that the appellant will be held in circumstances where he cannot associate because of the risk to his own safety. That's at paragraph 88. So we say he had well in mind what prison was likely to be like, and you compare that to what has actually transpired. We have the evidence of the MOJ witness, Mr. Warsman, which is in the bundle C, tab 4. Paragraph 11 there, page 22, he explains that the appellant being detained in a Category B training standard prison that also has some reception functions, and he describes the Category B training standard as a prison that holds long-term Category B prisoners
it's really Governor Marfleet, isn't it, who paints the picture?
And then we come to the detailed explanation, Miss Marfleet, which starts at paragraph 59. It's a long and detailed passage. I won't take you through all of it. But she explains the daily routine, 3 hours time out of cell, now recently increased by another 3 hours a day because the appellant has taken up work in the prison. Entitlement to 2 hours 4 times a week.
And I understand that the timing of that previously he had declined to take that up. It wasn't that it wasn't on offer.
That's her evidence, yes.
But he didn't want it. Then he took up the cleaning job.
Yes.
Now,
well,
yes.
painting and decorating, I think, yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
She refers to the fact he has a TV, a laptop, preloaded with various programs, reading material, notebook for journaling, a CD player and a DVD player. It notes that he's a prolific sender and receiver of emails while he's in his cell. That he has contact with a member of the prison chaplaincy team. He orders his daily meals on a laptop and takes all the meals that are issued to him. That's different from the evidence that was given to Miss Connolly, where it was suggested that he was declining meals for safety fears and having to save up and buy tinned food, etc. The governor says that's flatly wrong. That's paragraph 72. As to social visits, he's having 2 hours of social visits 4 times a week. And it's explained that that's more visits than most prisoners and that they try to be flexible to manage that time for his benefit. And he has social visits taking place in a more comfortable and relaxed environment than most prisoners do. But he has to provide a list of people who might want to visit him, and that's looked at by the prison authorities. Paragraph 80, she says that there have been 120 people so far included on his visit list, and he's received over 80 social visits, not including additional visits from his family. She says that on a small number of occasions, those visits haven't been allowed to go ahead because, for example, concerns that someone coming to visit him was coming in a journalistic role, and there's a particular process one has to go through to make contact with the prisoner in those circumstances.
I wonder if you could keep your voice up, Mr. Erdley.
I beg your pardon?
I can hear you, actually, but I think the court is big and full.
Moving on to telephone calls, she explains that when he first started the segregation, he had 10 hours per day where he could use the telephone. That was then cut to 4 hours because of concerns about people recording his telephone calls and publishing them. I'm sorry, it was reduced to 2 hours during that period. It's now, since the 11th of March, it's been increased back to 4 hours. And that's in addition to the contact he has by telephone and in person with his legal advisors. And it's said that since the 1st of November, he's made more than 1,250 social telephone calls. And details of who he calls, including his family members, is given paragraph 87. And she addresses situations in which, according to him, that these calls have been cancelled or cut short. That those have specific reasons attached to them, save for a few one-off or very isolated incidents. So you can see very well why Mr. Justice Chamberlain rejected the term being held in solitary confinement, and stuck with the term that comes from the prison rules and orders, segregation, which is in turn defined as a reduction in association, and that's precisely the wording that the judge, Justice Johnson, used in his sentencing remarks. So we say factually that there really isn't very much difference at all between what the sentencing judge anticipated that life would be like for Mr. Yaxley Lennon in prison and what has in fact transpired. And as to the legal objection for looking at the difference in the actual circumstances in which he's held and what the judge anticipated, can I take you to the case of Watson, tab 10 in the authorities bundle?
Yes.
This was a case about medical deterioration. Paragraph 14 on page 178, Your Ladyship made the point that I've already referred to, that the court is a court of review. Then at paragraph 15, it's explained what that means. It considers whether the sentence was wrong in principle or manifestly excessive. It does not, in the light of something that has happened since sentence, consider whether an offender should be sentenced in an entirely new way because, for example, of what has happened in the penal system, or because the offender supplied fresh information long after the event. So we say that's exactly the zone in which this appeal is located. You then go on to identify some exceptions to that, but where there's been some improvement in offenders' behaviour and cases that I'm going to come to under the next ground.
So it's paragraph 16, isn't it, is relevant to this, to the flexibility that's there?
Yes, we say that doesn't assist this appellant. It's not a case where someone has performed beyond expectations in terms of prison discipline, etc. And Your Ladyship.